It is a melancholy object to those who walk through this great town or travel in the country. When they see the streets, the roads and cabin doors crowded with beggars of the female sex. Followed by 3, 4, or 6 children, all in rags, and importing every passenger for the alums. These mothers, instead of being able to work for their honest livelihood, are forced to employ all their time in strolling to beg sustenance for their helpless infants, who, as they grow up, either turn to thieves for the want of the world, or leave their dear native country to fight for the predator in Spain, or sell themselves to Barbados. However, I have an idea that will descend the calamity. A useful way for these children. I propose to provide for them in such a manner as, instead of being a charge upon the parents or the parish, or wanting food and remnant for the rest of their lives, they shall, on the contrary, contribute to the feeding, and partly to the clothing of many thousands. In other words, we will take your useless babies and turn them useful, recycling as you will.
Mothers, we know how hard it can be to have sleepless nights upon nights, and then having the expectation to take care of your husband and his needs, especially when all that comes from your hard work is thievery or disappointment from your little ones. But look no further. We have a sure fix.
Here at J Swift Inc., we take pride in making your babies useful. We take the babies that seem as though they will end up unfit and a disappointment to you in society, and we use them completely, nothing turning to waste.
Not to mention, it will prevent abortions.
How could you resist that fact? So give us your babies today.
Now let me get down to the nitty-gritty, the reasoning behind my plan, if you will. See, I once met this truly astounding American.
That's me, the outstanding American.
He told me that the most healthy food, or a well-nourished child at its first birthday, is the most delicious, nourishing, and wholesome food.
That's true. Whether stewed, roasted, baked, or boiled, it will make the best meat to serving franchise. It's absolutely delicious. The best part of the meat comes from the butt, seasoned with a bit of pepper and a pinch of salt. Ah, bon appetit.
Now, let us share with you the analytics or statistics of this amazing idea. Of the 120,000 children in our quaint country, 20,000 will be selected as our breeding children. 1/4 of these children will be men, and the rest, females.
Yes. Every man will have 3 female counterparts to breed with. Though the results of how many children will be produced per year will vary due to disease, death, miscarriages, and the birth of multiples, we do know we'd have thousands upon thousands born a year.
It is very important that the mothers let their newborn breeded children nurse up until the last day they will live with their mothers, as it'll plump them up nice and juicy for the feasting event. This way, each child will be able to be used in 2 dishes at house parties and holidays. Thinking about that makes my mouth water.
Now you're probably thinking, J Swift, you said we'd be using all the parts of the baby, but you've only mentioned the meat. Well, what are the other parts? Let me tell you, girls and boys, about the newest fashion band that'll be hitting the markets this upcoming holiday season. You might have peeped it on New York Fashion Week this past year, and it'll be coming out just in time for the spring.
Yes, the lines will open with beautiful gloves for you ladies and daring boots for you men. Not to mention our down coats. It's thrifting and in style.
Choosing to make clothes out of the babies is because the skin is simply too tough to eat. It simply wouldn't be enjoyable.
As I digress, let's go over the main advantages to my modern proposal.
1. It would lessen the number of unwanted children and people. The chances of children turning into the enemy would significantly drop.
2. Our poor city members will have something valuable to live for.
3. The stocks will rise. The money will contribute from the lack of homelessness. The new dish that the wealthy and middle class will expend high and excessive amounts of money on. And the new fashion brand. The goods coming from our growth and manufacturing.
4. The cost of breeders, besides the 8 shillings per annum by the sale of each child, would rid the charge of plainly owning a child by the first year.
5. Think of the restaurants that will be created, not to mention how large the job market will grow.
This will be a great way to continue the binding of marriage, as it will be encouraged by rewards or enforced by the laws through penalties.
So join us today, either selling us your child to kick off the business or joining us as one of our breeders.
You won't be sorry.
I profess, in the sincerity of my heart, that I don't have the least personal interest in endeavoring and to promote this necessary work, having no other motive than the public good of my country, by advancing our trade, providing for infants, relieving the poor, and giving some pleasure to the rich. If you're still unsure of joining us today, let me say these last few words. Additions to this new necessary idea includes addition of carcasses, propagation of swine flesh, and creating the perfect art of creating bacon. However, it may cause incest to arise over time, an immense influence of STDs, and defiant murder of God's children. So join us today.
I hate myself. I messed up.
Okay, don't stop recording. I want to say that whole line over.
The goods coming in from our growth engine.
Thousands born per year.
It is very important